Hello students. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about the next two chemical compounds, their preparation and their uses. These compounds are bleaching powder, that is calcium oxychloride, and baking soda. Let us continue. Preparation of bleaching powder. The chemical name of bleaching powder is calcium oxychloride. How do we form calcium oxychloride? For that, we need to take dry calcium hydroxide, that is dry slaked lime. Most of the time when we have discussed the reactions of calcium hydroxide with water, at that time we have taken the liquid or the aqueous solution of calcium hydroxide. But for this preparation, we need to take dry slaked lime. When the chlorine gas is passed over dry slaked lime, the reaction takes place and it forms a compound which is calcium oxychloride. The formula of this compound is CaOCl2. Now this chemical compound is a very strong bleaching reagent. With this, there is a molecule of water will also form. Uses of bleaching powder. Bleaching powder are widely used in the textile industries for bleaching cotton and linen. Bleaching means it removes any kind of stain or color from the cotton threads. It is also used in the paper industry for bleaching the wood pulp so that the paper we get should appear white in color. It is also used as a disinfectant. You must have seen on the roads many a time the municipality spreads a white color powder on the sides of road. That is actually calcium oxychloride or bleaching powder. When it comes in contact with atmospheric carbon dioxide, it releases chlorine gas, which is actually a bleaching and a disinfectant gas. Next, we are going to discuss about the preparation of baking soda. Baking soda has a common name, baking soda, or we call it also as a baking powder. But there is difference between baking soda and baking powder that we will discuss further. Chemical name of baking soda is sodium hydrogen carbonate. Sodium hydrogen carbonate is formed while the reaction of sodium chloride, which is our base raw material, and with the raw material, when we take some amount of ammonia and we pass carbon dioxide through this solution of sodium, ammonia and water, a reaction takes place in which we get two compounds. These compounds are ammonium chloride and sodium bicarbonate. This sodium bicarbonate is a common base which is used in the kitchen also for the cooking purpose. Whenever we have to make the crispy pakoda or anything we need to cook quickly, we add few amount of baking soda in it so that the cooking will be faster. Now what happens when we heat baking soda? When we heat baking soda breaks down to form another compound, that is sodium carbonate, and with that water and carbon dioxide gas will also evolve. To balance the reaction, we need to write 2 in front of baking soda formula. In this reaction, carbon dioxide gas is formed, and that is why this reaction is widely used in the baking of cake and bread. Uses of baking soda. For making baking powder. Now we will understand how the baking powder is formed. It is also widely used in the baking cake and bread. Now they both are related to each other. We will discuss their chemical reaction. This is the bread, which you can see that there are many holes are present in it, and because of these holes the bread becomes very spongy and soft. This happens because of this reaction. As sodium bicarbonate, when reacts with any acid, it will form water, carbon dioxide and sodium salt of it. In the previous slide, you have seen that whenever sodium bicarbonate is heated, it split up to form washing soda, that is sodium carbonate. Sodium carbonate is a very, very strong base. And if we use baking soda for making or baking cake, the cake or bread will taste bitter because of the presence of sodium carbonate. So that is why we convert baking soda into baking powder so that the bitterness of the cake will not appear. That is happening because when we are making a baking powder, it is a combination of baking soda and any of the mild acid. This mild acid can be acetic acid, it can be tartaric acid, or it can be lemon juice. For example, at your home, when your mother cooks dhokla or any other kind of spongy food item, you must have seen that they put some amount of lemon or curd in it, which is sour in taste, and we also add few amount of or half or 1/4 spoon of baking soda in it. Now, when baking soda reacts with lemon or curd acid, this reaction takes place. So here H represents the ion which is released by any of the weak acid. So in baking powder, when baking soda and hydrogen ion react with each other, they form sodium salt of acid. And this sodium salt of acid is neutral. So it doesn't give bitter taste to the cake and bread. And with that, water vapor and carbon dioxide gas is produced. Now they both are produced in the gaseous form. And while the baking is going on, these gases try to come out from the dough, which we are baking. And when these gases come out of the dough, they make a path to come out. And because of that path, these holes and spongy appearance comes to the bread or a cake. So always remember the difference between baking soda and baking powder is baking powder is only sodium bicarbonate, whereas baking powder is a combination of baking soda plus tartaric acid. In the market, when you purchase baking powder, that is actually a mixture of baking soda and tartaric acid, so that the reaction will take place and a neutral compound will form, which will give spongy appearance and soft appearance to the bread, and it will also don't give a bitter taste. Now, what are the other uses of baking soda? Baking soda is a very important component of antacid, and it is widely used as a soda acid fire extinguisher. You can see the example. This is the bottle of Eno, which is a baking soda or which is also used as antacid when we suffer from acidity. How do we use it as soda acid fire extinguisher? Now you can see in this diagram, this is a setup of soda acid fire extinguisher. In this fire extinguisher, inside there is sodium bicarbonate solution is filled, and on the top of it there is another component or a compartment in which sulfuric acid is filled. There is a stopper which doesn't allow sulfuric acid to come in contact with sodium bicarbonate. But whenever we require this soda acid fire extinguisher to work and release large amount of hydrogen oxide, that is water, and carbon dioxide to come out in the form of gas or vapor, this stopper is need to be broken. So when we break the seal of this soda acid fire extinguisher, this compartment get mixed with the sodium bicarbonate solution, and the reaction between the sulfuric acid and sodium bicarbonate takes place. Here we will get carbon dioxide and water. So when the carbon dioxide and water will form, it will come out of this soda acid fire extinguisher with the help of this outlet. And with the help of this tube, we will use this mixture of water and carbon dioxide to extinguish fire. Soda acid fire extinguisher looks like this from the outside. This is the outlet with the help of which the mixture of carbon dioxide and water will come out, and it will help to prevent the fire to proceed. Now, carbon dioxide is a fire extinguisher because it works as a coating and it doesn't allow the oxygen to come in contact with a burning substance. So this is how carbon dioxide plays a very important role to extinguish fire. And this type of carbon dioxide to produce in large amount, we use baking soda. I hope you all are clear with the preparation and uses of baking soda and bleaching powder. In the next session, we will discuss about the next chemicals. Thank you.